Welcome to Empty Nesters True Crime Podcast, where we explore chilling mysteries and dark secrets. With their nest now empty, Susan and Nancy have more time to uncover the truth and venture into the unknown. Let's step into the shadows together, shall we?
We're back.
Hey!
We did take a little hiatus. We apologize. There's been a lot going on, mostly in Susan's life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. My daughter graduated from officer training school, so I was gone for a week for that.
So exciting.
My spa life has been a little crazy and hectic. And my car caught fire and burnt to the ground.
Yeah, no big deal. Car caught fire,
Burnt to the ground on a Thursday morning.
We can laugh now, but it was not funny at the time.
It's still not funny. But I'm accepting jokes here and there. But if I tell you too much, it's too much.
Too much too soon sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you've experienced anxiety, right?
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. And I experienced anxiety and depression. Probably depression more than anxiety.
Okay, I'm the other way around. Definitely more anxiety, but
Yeah. So, and depression for me, it sneaks up on me and I'm like deep in it before I realize I'm in it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anxiety, I've got lots of breathing techniques. I'm a massage therapist.
I was going to say, you knew how to deal with those.
I know how to deal with it. But I'll tell you, we had a fire on Thursday. My car burnt to the ground. The fire department was here. They're amazing. The Graham Fire Department now.
Shout out to them. Absolutely.
Yes, they are absolutely wonderful. They are deeply caring human beings.
Aw.
And they got snacks yesterday. Made sure they got snacks. You went with me because we were on the phone.
We were on the phone when she was delivering it, thanking them, and
Yes.
that was nice.
Apparently, spa laundry and spontaneous combustion is a thing. If you'd like to know more about that, you can message us.
Yeah.
I don't want to get too deep into it.
It was a perfect storm. I'm going to tell my side of the story super quick because I was just getting out to go to work. And I ran back in because I forgot something. I come back out again and I see this black smoke. And I knew it was coming from Susan's house because I can't see her house, but she's around the corner. I run upstairs. My husband's in bed. I say, Paul, go look out the window. Something's wrong at Susan's. I don't know I said that. Run down the stairs, hop in my car because I'm going to save her. I think her house is on fire and I think she's burning. I jump in my car. I fly down the street and her husband is stopping me at the corner like, don't come. I look. Her car is engulfed. I don't see Susan. Susan's burning in the fire. And he's like, no. Susan's in the house. I said, okay. But it was scary.
It was scary.
Didn't see you, only him. And the paramedics, fire department hadn't really got there yet. And he, of course, obviously looks terrified. And I'm thinking, Susan, my best friend. And he's like, yes, she's in the house. Okay. We knew you were safe.
It took the fire department 10 minutes to get here because I guess they've asked for a closer station to our area, but that has not happened or whatever. But I am going to ask more questions about that because 10 minutes in a fire, a lot of shit can happen.
Wow, I didn't realize it was 10 minutes.
10 minutes. It takes them 10 minutes because they're right across the street from my spa and it takes me 10 minutes to get to work and it took them 10 minutes to get here. It felt like forever. And at one point, the fireman told my husband, where's your wife? He said, she's in the house. He said, tell your wife to get out of the house.
Right. You don't know how
and I was like, holy shit, my house is going to catch on fire. So I have a 65-pound pit bull, Lola, who loves to make her voice known on our podcast. And she is hiding under the bed because of all the loud sounds. Like it sounded like a damn war zone out there.
And I didn't realize your husband said the loud thing was when your tire blew.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was some windows bursting.
Oh, bursting in the tires.
Yeah, in the tires.
Okay, but Lola's hiding under the bed.
She's hiding under the bed, and I'm like, Lola, we don't have time for this today. Come on. And then I said, because I got to save you, and we have 3 cats, and I'm not leaving the cats. And my husband and I may have disagreed on that a little bit, but I'm like, I'm not leaving the cats.
Yeah.
So I got to find something to put them in because they'll run, and I don't know if they'll come back. Like
they're indoor cats, right?
Yeah, they're very indoor. Now Felix would come back because he escapes from time to time because he's got girlfriends.
He has girlfriends, yeah.
Yeah, he's got girlfriends outside, and he is neutered but he still has girlfriends, and they come to visit him. But when I looked back outside, it was very much under control, and I was like, well, I'm going to leave Lola in the backyard, and I guess I can meander my way out front. And the walk of shame that I felt so terrible that, like, what at the time I didn't know what happened, but after an investigation, that's what happened. It was.
We won't talk about her 3 pairs of Lululemon leggings. That was heartbreaking too. You lost 3 pairs of your fancy leggings.
I lost 2 pairs. I found one.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh my God, it's like Christmas. So yeah.
We're just kidding about the leggings. It was a funny story. Susan likes her Lululemon. And I like my Walmart $5.
Well, it used to be really, really fat, and they don't even make them that fat. And then they did, and I bought some, and they're the best leggings ever.
I'm sure our viewers probably agree with you. I need to try them out, but
I'm buying you a pair for Christmas. Now that we're done talking about my car, and tonight we're going to talk about a family that, and they're still going through it. Tonight we are talking about, and I shared this story with you before I did it. Normally we don't share stories, but I shared this one with you because I felt it was important that we could really talk about it. And the drink we made in our YouTube video is called Fake Friends. It's pink because it is our victim's favorite color with a yellow umbrella. Pink and yellow were her favorite colors. And this still rattles me to the bone that I never want my daughters or my sons to go on a trip with acquaintances. I don't want to go on acquaintance trips myself because this is horrible.
Yeah. And I think this one is tough too because, again, she thought she was with friends. And
yeah.
It wasn't like somebody she met. Or, there's so many cases they just happened to meet somebody who happened to be, a bad person. But she went with her friends. This happened under her friends.
And one of her best friends was with her.
Right.
So we're talking about Shanquella Robinson. Shanquella Robinson was a graduate from Winston-Salem State University, which is historically a Black college. She is African American, which is where she met the people that she went on this trip with. Shanquella ran She ran a boutique clothing business and a children's hair braiding business. They were called Exquisite Kids and Exquisite Boutique. She was from Charlotte, North Carolina. October 28th, 2022, Shanquella traveled to Mexico for a short vacation with a friend and 5 other travel companions. And I say travel companions because they were more like she didn't know them like her bestie. They were acquaintances. It would be like if I went on a trip with, how you have your little girls that you go to bingo with every Wednesday night? They go to beer bingo. Don't let it fool you that it's like old lady bingo. But it'd be like if I joined y'all for a trip, because I don't know those ladies like you do.
Just acquaintances, right?
I've only met one of them. And isn't that a shame, folks? Like, shouldn't I know these people that are, like, friends with my friend?
Yes, she has to approve of my friends now.
No, you just like to go out and I like to be in bed by 9. So these travel companions consisted of 3 men and 3 women. Khalil Cook, Malik St. Patrick Dyer, Winter Donovan, Elise Hyatt, and Dejanay Jackson, and Nazir Wiggins. And those are now deemed as the Cabo 6.
Yep.
Because they went to Cabo. The group checked into a rental luxury apartment or house, whatever it is, in Puerto Los Cabos. It's in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. And I'm going to tell you, before I really heard this story, I have always wanted to go to Cabo, and I'm not sure I want to go to Cabo anymore. It was 5 bedrooms, had a They had their own pool.
Mm-hmm.
Super beautiful place. Beautiful. Shanquella had her last phone conversation with her mom the night before and said she was having a great time. A personal chef was coming to the villa. They were cooking them a Mexican meal for the group. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never been on a trip where we've had a personal chef.
I was going to say a personal chef come in and cook for them. I'm like, no.
No, so they're having a good time. They're like, well, I guess it ends up being 7 of them, and they're having just this good time. They're in Cabo, man. Drinking. Personal chef. I mean, I married my own personal chef because Matt does all the cooking, but I mean, it'd be neat. I think that'd be really neat.
Yeah.
Sydney's friend, Peyton, they just had a personal chef come in the last weekend, I guess, and she had a personal chef come into their home and make a meal. Like, it's a thing. We gotta look this up.
For our next party, we'll have a personal chef come in and cook for us.
Why? Because it won't be any good. We might as well just let Matt and Paul do it.
Yes, you're right.
Because your husband makes the best chicken wings in the world. On October 29th, the day after they arrived, around 2:13, there was a phone call made that requested a doctor come to the residence because a vacationer wasn't feeling well. Well, at the same time, Shanquella Robinson, is Shanquella's mother, received a phone call that her daughter had alcohol poisoning and the doctor was coming to take care of her. Well, Salamandra's like, can you just take my daughter to call an ambulance, take her to the ER, get her to the hospital? And they were like, no, the doctor's coming. Well, Dr. Carolina Gutierrez from the American Medical Center arrived within an hour. I told you my car burned down in 10 minutes, felt forever for the fire department to get here.
And this is an hour.
This is an hour.
I thought that too when I heard that time frame.
And she found a female in stable condition, but dehydrated, disoriented, verbally unresponsive, unable to communicate, and appearing to be intoxicated. Well, she's in Cabo, and I'm sure I don't know about you, Nancy, because it's you. But, like, when we're on vacation, especially, like, on a cruise ship or on the beach, mimosas are a thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody Marys, mimosas. I don't know about you. Have you ever had a mimosa?
I'm sure I have, but yeah, I'm not a super big drinker. I always tell everybody I'm a one cocktail girl. But, I mean, I can see that the thinking she had alcohol poisoning could fit because friends, young, on vacation. I get that.
Well,
but
the group told the doctor that Robinson had a lot to drink. Shanquella had a lot to drink. The doctor really wanted to take Shanquella to the hospital, but the group was like, no, they wanted her treated in the villa.
Mm-hmm.
And later they claimed that a hospital stay would have cost $5,000, and that was too expensive.
Yeah, I was going to say, I remember them claiming they're also doing it to save money. But, if your friend's in bad condition, I don't think that's what you're thinking, but okay.
No, absolutely not. Because medical treatments in Mexico are a hell of a lot cheaper than they are in the United States.
That's true.
And this is what I got to tell you. Anybody listening here that takes, the only one's a little one. The little one. Anybody takes my little one on a trip out to Cabo and she's intoxicated like that and $5,000, I won't bat an eye to pay $5,000 for you to get her the medical treatment that she needs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure Shanquella's mother would have paid that $5,000 to make sure her daughter was in the proper care that she needed to be in. That is not an excuse.
Nope.
There's no excuse. That shit pisses me off. Because they wouldn't have had to been responsible for those medical bills, and they know that. They just when we keep talking, you're going to know that they some.
But what about the person that came and they saw her condition? Do we not hold them a little bit liable?
You should, absolutely. Because if my doctor came in and saw me in that condition, I would hope to God he would just directly say, this woman is going to the emergency room.
Yeah, they usually take caution rather than...
So, yes, there's questions surrounding that.
That one red flagged me. I always use that red flag, but that was a big one. I'm like, why wouldn't she insist that she go? Okay.
And isn't that her duty to insist that Shanquella get to the hospital? Well, during the medical treatment, this doctor attempted to administer an IV because, we want to get her hydrated. But Shanquella's condition worsened, and she suffered from a tonic-clonic seizure. And that's a stiffening of the body, arms, and legs. And this happened around 4:13 p.m., about an hour after the doctor's arrival. An ambulance was called at 4:20 after Shanquella began having trouble breathing and her pulse dropped. And then she went into cardiac arrest.
Right.
Paramedics came to the scene around 4:49 p.m. to resuscitate Shanquella, administering 14 CPR rounds of cardiac vascular compressions. They just tried all kinds of stuff. They used 5 doses of adrenaline, 6 electric discharges from a defibrillator, but they weren't able to save her. There were no signs of human life. And Shanquella was clinically dead at 5:57, according to police reports. And with this case, the police report and the coroner's report, they're two different stories.
Yep.
So then the travel companions that you would think would wait, like, let's wait and see what we can do, whatever. But they got sneaky and they called a driver to take them to dinner. They went to a hotel, called a driver to take them to dinner. They didn't go to dinner. They went to the damn airport and got the hell out of Mexico ASAP.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. They got the fuck out of there. So the police report, the two responding officers on the scene came around 5:25 p.m. They were briefed by the Dr. Gutierrez, who informed the officers that medical treatment was requested for the young lady who had too much alcohol, and that she had found her in stable but unresponsive condition, and that she had planned to admit her to the hospital, but the travel companions object to that, claiming instead they requested that Shanquella be treated in the room, which her condition just worsened. After Shanquella was declared dead, the investigating officers notified the General Prosecutor's Office, which is like our Attorney General. And because she's a foreign citizen, so that needed to be reported. And based on eyewitness accounts and the consultation with the Dr. Gutierrez, the police report concluded that a deceased person had died of alcohol poisoning. And there was no observation of internal or external injuries in the police report. Based on this police report, the investigators of the Mexican authorities, the U.S. State Department, initially released a statement reporting the Mexican authorities said there was no clear evidence Shanquella Robinson was murdered. So it sounds like alcohol poisoning, right?
That's what they're saying.
That's what they're telling us. Have you been that drunk at 3:00 in the afternoon?
No, but I'm not saying that couldn't happen. If they're on vacation, she's having too much to drink. You hear stories about that. And at this point, we're believing it because she was seen by medical care. They seen her. examined her, and this is what they're telling us. So, I mean,
Yeah.
but as we know, the story takes another twist.
Nancy, she was 25 years old. And I'm going to tell you right now, 25-year-olds are not drinking them to self-death unless they got a problem, which Shanquella did not at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Just saying.
They're going to have their mimosas. They're going to have food. They're going to have their mimosas. They're going to have their good time. On November 5th, a notarized English translation of Robinson's death certificate based on the autopsy report came out. So this becomes interesting. This states that Shanquella died 15 minutes after suffering a severe spinal cord injury and an atlas luxation, which is a dislocation or separation of a skull base from the atlas bone of the first bone of the neck of the spinal column. Yeah. The forensic doctor said the date and time of death was October 29th at 3 o'clock. Cause of death, severe spinal cord injury, atlas luxation. From that 15 minutes dead, she was found unconscious in the living room. Was it accident or a violent death? Yes. Was it accidental or violent death? Yes. The autopsy report mentioned neither cardiac arrest nor alcohol poisoning.
Yep.
Now it's time to investigate.
But see, that's what I'm saying. Up until that point, if it just comes out alcohol poisoning, okay, her friends are saying it, the medical examiner is saying it. But once you hear that part, this is why this case is so messed up. That person examined her. How did they not see other injuries?
We're not done.
I know. But I'm just saying, up until this point, you can kind of follow, but now it's not going to make sense.
Yeah. Shanquella had a broken neck, is what it boils down to. On November 16th, the U.S. Department of State responded that they were aware of the incident, and this is, quote, "We are aware of these reports. Protecting the welfare of U.S. citizens overseas is among our top priorities. Out of respect for the privacy of those involved, we have no further comment at this time." I'm going to tell you right now that Shanquella's family, they don't give a shit about their privacy. They want justice for Shanquella.
As they should, absolutely.
So you need to talk, because this just gets worse. So Salamandra Robertson, who is Shanquella's mother, disclosed during an ABC News Good Morning America interview that her family began to be suspicious about these friends that she went on the trip with because they all returned with different stories.
Yes. They actually went to see her.
Yeah, they all went to see her. The travel or the friends, fake friends is what I call them. Fake friends went to see Salamandra. They all had different stories, and they brought back some of Salamandra's stuff, or Shanquella's stuff, but not all of it. And it's just pretty shifty and shady. Now, Malik St. Patrick Dyer, Malik was Shanquella's best friend. That was her best friend. And when Salamandra was questioning him about things, he got up and left very quickly.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was her best friend. And then all the rest of them were like...
You're right. More of acquaintances.
Yeah.
Known through somebody. Yeah.
Yeah. She met them in college when she went to college. But he got out of there real quick. Some of the fake friends, because I'm calling them fake friends, we'll call Malik, but because he was supposed to be her best friend. Can you believe, like, when we
No.
get even more into this.
I know. We're taking it step by step, how it's unfolding.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm trying to see it up until this point.
Yeah, even though you know. Some of the fake friends said that the maid found her unconscious.
Yes, there's definitely inconsistencies here.
Mm-hmm. And
it was in bed, I think. The maid found her in the bed or something.
Yeah, right. At first, they wanted to say she's died of alcohol poisoning. And a few days later, some of them admit there had been a fight and she had been fighting and she had been jumped. It gets wild. The location of where Shanquella was found was different among the friends. And, you know, Salamandra's like, some of them found her unconscious on the floor. They claimed to find her in the bed.
Maid found her. Mm-hmm.
And Bernard Robertson, somebody told him that they found her in a chair. And Bernard is Shanquella's dad.
Right.
Dad and mom are still together. It's just they're a great family. It's like, what the truth does not change. So why is everybody's story different? Shanquella's mother told CBS News during an interview that her daughter's fake friends initially suggested that her daughter had taken ill from alcohol poisoning, which surprised Salamandra because Shanquella didn't drink like that. She just didn't. And she didn't understand why they wouldn't take her to the emergency room because they were complaining about the money. But I don't think the money was an issue for Bernard and Salamandra.
We know why they're not wanting them to go there. But again, we're trying to play the story out as it's coming. But that's what they're saying. Oh, it's about money, but they didn't want found out.
I'll tell you, take my ass to the hospital. My mom will pay for it because I still pay for her medical bills.
Maybe think about those kids aren't thinking about that. You know what I mean? They're not thinking about, oh, this is going to cost this much. Wonder what her insurance will cover. Oh, we better not. It might be too expensive for the family.
I'm going to tell you right now, people don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Even people who you think are your friends.
Yeah. No, nobody's thinking about that.
They're not thinking about, if they care about you, they're taking you to the emergency room.
Yeah.
If they had something to do with your plight or whatever situation you're in, they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But Salamandra really she just had a lot of doubts. And the autopsy report emerged, and she even had more doubts because her daughter died of a broken neck and not alcohol poisoning.
Did it say if there was, like, how much alcohol there was in her system? I don't remember that part.
Oh, crap. I know I've heard that, but I
was
think
it a lot?
No, I think it was not even the legal limit.
See, I thought that too. That's another thing. I was like, so she wasn't inebriated.
But this isn't all. She had signs of trauma. There was a knot on her head. Her face was bruised. Her eyes were swollen.
Mm-hmm.
She had a busted lip. Come on. That's a beating.
Right.
November 19th, a funeral service was held at Macedonia Baptist Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I'm going to tell you, they went all out.
Yes, the carriage and
had a pink and yellow horse-drawn carriage.
That's beautiful.
And the GoFundMe, because they did a GoFundMe.
Sure.
Over $400,000 was raised.
Oh, that's great.
Yes, absolutely.
So people came together.
There were a lot of more famous people who actually were donating when they heard this story.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Well, it's a sad story. And, you talked in the beginning that she had two businesses going on. Like, she had it together.
And she did the hair braiding because she wanted African-American children to be proud of their hair.
Yes, and to feel pretty. And I mean, I'm crying when I was reading that.
And they said she would make them feel so beautiful and loved when they were getting their hair done.
Yeah, she was so smart. I mean, to have two businesses and to care about, her community. She was very special. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wanted Black women to be proud to be Black.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's beautiful. That's beautiful. For more than 2 weeks, the family attempted convincing authorities in the United States and in Mexico that their daughter's death was suspicious. They wanted it to be investigated.
As they should.
Police report says one thing, coroner's report says another. Come on, let's all get on the same page, please. In a statement the Robinson family published to the GoFundMe that was used to acquire, I mean, I'm sure they used some for funeral expenses, but it was mostly for the family's legal fees because this legal battle is still going on. So Shanquella's sister, Quilla Long, announced that the family will continue to investigate what happened. The United States Department released a statement claiming no clear evidence of foul play. She had a broken neck.
And she had visible
bruising.
Things on her face.
What the hell, United States? But a video began to circulate of a woman being violently attacked. And this woman being attacked was Shanquella by Dejanay.
Mm-hmm. Being taped by a friend.
They were videoing, yes, because this group loved video.
Right.
Which they do in their 20s. They video everything. This is my breakfast. This is my lunch. I mean, hell, I got my children sending me poop pics at times. This is my poop. Does this look normal? I'm like, Jesus, stop. But the video is of Shanquella being violently attacked. It's unacceptable.
And just to be clear, in the video, she's not fighting back. It's not a fight video. It's not two people in a fight. It's her being viciously attacked. That's it.
And Malik, who has been found to be Malik, her best friend. It looks like he's the one videoing it and said, Quilla, ain't you going to fight back?
Like, yeah, encouraging her.
And she says, no.
Right.
And this woman, Dejanay, is beating the living shit out of her.
Right. He's just taping.
Yeah. And we will not post that video. You can go and you can find it on your own. But it is just...
It's hard to watch.
Heart-wrenching.
Yeah. But I just wanted to point out, she is not fighting back. It's not a fight video of two girls fighting. It was totally one-sided. Just an attack on her.
Well, and there's another video before, because Shanquella, and her Instagram is still up. Shanquella is videoing, I guess they were all going skinny dipping or whatever.
Yes. Okay, I saw this one.
She couldn't find them. Couldn't find the others in the group. And she's like, hey, bitches, it don't take you that long to get naked. And then she walks in, and they're like all huddled in a circle. And you know when you walk in a circle and somebody's talking about you.
Yes, I saw that. They're all in a circle and she walks in on it. It's just...
And even the night before, I guess they had been drinking and she's on a hammock. And Malik takes a video and it said, because she was like passed out in the hammock, well, we got our first dead body.
Yep.
And that could have been in jest. But the next day, it's not. It's terrible. Guerrero Zunguna, and I may not be saying that right, and I apologize, is a Mexican journalist in Baja California Sur. And just because it says California doesn't mean it's California. It's still Mexico. He began covering the murder of Shanquella Robinson. And he published an article which looked at the death of a 73-year-old retiree, Rodney Davis, who was kidnapped while hiking and camping and murdered and found dead, and he was identified through this local DNA. Well, Davis was tipped off about Shanquella that this American tourist had been killed 4 days after Davis's murder. And after hearing the rumors about the video incident among the Winston-Salem students, he hopped on it and was... which gave it the recognition, helped give it the recognition it needed because Shanquella's family was not quiet.
I don't blame them. This one, I don't understand. We have a video, but okay.
So the video began, it was uploaded on Twitter, which I guess now is X. I don't know. I don't tweet. Do you tweet?
I was not a Twitter person.
I
still not. Yeah, I don't
could not do I mean, I think the spa has a Twitter, but I think it's stuff that we post on like Facebook goes automatically. I don't know. And if we have messages on Twitter, please send them to Facebook or Instagram because we don't tweet.
Yeah, use our
Or
Facebook
X.
account.
We don't X.
We Facebook.
But then that video went viral of her being attacked by, it's Dejanay Jackson is who it is, in the vacation rental. Salamandra confirms that's her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine being a mother and watch that?
Yeah.
And not only do you get to watch it, but the whole damn world gets to watch it. And they get to watch it over and over and over.
Your daughter's helplessly being beaten.
Which
and her best
led to
friend's
her
taping
murder.
it. And her best
That
friend's
is
taping
not
it.
okay.
No,
That's
it's not.
not okay. It is not fair, and it's unjust. So the video strikes a rage. You know, she's just getting beat the shit out of next to the hotel or resort bed or whatever you want to call it. And
I was in the room.
She's violently yanking on her neck. She's pushing her on the floor. She's kicking her. She hits her with her knee. It's just terrible. There are two other people present during this altercation with the voices and a male that's filming it, which was Malik. He's like, Quilla, and we talked about this, you're not going to fight back? At least something.
Kind of a laugh. He's saying it in a laughy voice. It's not like oh my gosh, fight back for your life. No, it's a ha. Mm-hmm.
And she just says no. Because her family said she wasn't a fighter.
Right.
Like, look at her. She's went to college. She's a black woman. She's gone to college. She has two, not one business, but two.
Mm-hmm.
Where she wants little girls to be proud of who they are and fixes their hair. And then be proud of who you are and dress for success. Like, and if you look at her Instagram, I wish I could wear some of those outfits. She could look business, like she meant business, and then she could look like girls' night out. Like she could just flip-flop it. I can't flip-flop it like that, but she could. And she was absolutely gorgeous. You've seen her. She's gorgeous.
Beautiful.
So people saw this video and they were shocked. And I'm not sure who actually leaked the video. There was some rumors that it was somebody in the group, but then there was rumors that somebody from the group leaked it somewhere else.
Leaked it somewhere else and they put it on. Yeah, I don't think we'll know.
But it's out there. So the second state attorney, they had another investigation. And you would think that on November 16th, State Attorney General Office of Baja California Sur reopened the investigation into Shanquella Robinson's death as a possible femicide, which is crime against women,
right? Which
is big in Mexico. So that's what that means. They revisited the crime scene, collected more evidence. The State Attorney General Office of Baja California Sur carries out the field and cabinet proceedings to clarify the facts in which a female person of foreign origin lost a life on October 29th in the beach club in the San Jose del Cabo. At October 29th at approximately 6:45, they received a call to the house that there was a woman without life. They went to the scene, and the investigators, they do their thing. So it's just being reinvestigated by Mexico. Well, then the FBI gets involved. November 18th, the FBI gets involved. The FBI from Charlotte, North Carolina. They open their own investigation in the death of Shanquella Robinson in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, on or about October 29th, 2022. Due to the ongoing investigation. We have no further comment. Our investigation is completely separate from Mexico, and I'm not privy to anything that they are doing, said a spokesperson. Why are you not working together? Seriously. If Mexico had somebody that we wanted, if they would want, I just don't understand. Like, why aren't you working together? There's no reason not to work together. You know who did it? Allegedly. A group of agents from the FBI Charlotte's Field office were reportedly seen at the crime scene in Mexico. On April 12, 2023, U.S. authorities announced that they will not pursue criminal charges related to the death of Shanquella Robinson. That's some bullshit. You have a video that shows you, and we're not doing nothing because it's in a different country?
And like you said, the autopsy proved what she died of.
Absolutely.
Was not
just
alcohol
because it's
poisoning.
in a different country?
Right.
My kids can't leave the country.
Right.
You want Brittany going to Cabo with friends? Because obviously they don't know what the fuck they're doing anywhere.
And go back all the way. I was trying to point this out when that first medical examiner came and declared her alcohol poisoning.
The doctor.
The doctor. So I shouldn't say medical examiner. The doctor. She was beaten up. You're going to see this.
Where is that?
That's what I was pointing out. Okay, so right now, as they're talking, alcohol poisoning, she was with their friends. So we're following this along. But how... There was none of that on her report. The visible. I mean, you get beaten. You got swollen eyes. We saw the video.
Well, she says she was alive longer.
Yeah, that's true.
15 minutes. What the fuck? Who's
holding that
person? Were we
person?
trying to hide something and then it didn't get hidden?
Right. And who's holding that person accountable for a false statement?
Absolutely. The doctor needs to be held accountable.
That's what I was trying to get that whole time. We're like, could it be alcohol poisoning? Well, technically,
the doctor should have been like, I can't do this. We're calling an ambulance.
Yes. Look at her. You can see she was beat up. I mean, technically, could it be alcohol poisoning? She wasn't even drinking.
Well, one story I read that this place was like $10,000 and Shanquella was the one who paid for it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know if they were supposed to pay her back, but the family accused that group of taking $10,000 from Shanquella.
So they used her for this trip.
It could have been the one that paid for money. That was in some of my reading, but...
Okay, I didn't hear that one. Whew.
Yeah. And then some of it could have been one of the guys on the trip or whatever, but I don't think that was really founded. Like, one of them was jealous because maybe one of them was interested in her or something.
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
I heard some of that, but that could be hearsay,
That was not but that she had paid for the trip was definitely, and her belongings were not all handed back to the family, and we don't know what those belongings are.
Yeah, that I heard.
I mean, like, the family don't care about a damn bottle of shampoo.
Mm-hmm.
The family probably don't even care about, like, Gucci sunglasses, but what kind of, like, jewelry or whatever.
What's her items?
Like, like my Pandora bracelet, that's a couple $1,000 bracelet. It needs to go back home to my family.
And it's her things, right? They don't have a right to keep any of it.
Right.
Or whoever did.
I mean, I don't have a lot of expensive things. I mean...
You got a Pandora bracelet? Thanks, Susan. I told y'all she's bougie.
I know. My $10 sunglasses that were fake Gucci burned up in my car. I got to go back to New York now to the streets and get me another pair. But, so, let's get back to Shanquella, because that is what is important here today. And my computer.
So we're getting that. They don't want to help. And I feel horrible for this family.
It's terrible. Because this family is like...
They're going through so much.
I hate to say this way because it does not make it sound... This family's a good standing family in the community.
Right.
This is not like... We talk about a lot of like poor families that do get shuffled under the rug, and they shouldn't.
Yeah, nobody should.
No, they shouldn't. But this is a family that is an upstanding family in the community. And they're still getting shuffled under the rug. And I have to ask, is it because they're African American? And when we hear these stories,
and woman, she's a lady
she's
too.
A woman.
Add that part.
She's a woman. She's African American. But when we do these stories, who gets the least amount of attention? Poor people, African Americans, and women.
And women.
And she had two of them. She was African American and a woman. On November 23rd, the Attorney General for the Baja California General Prosecutor's Office announced an arrest order relating to the homicide that had been issued against a person identified as an American who was the direct aggressor in the death of Shanquella Robinson. He said that the death she did not die from alcohol intake, but the direct assault of a spinal cord injury. So we have a arrest warrant. You think that would be great, right, Nancy?
You would think.
You would think, but not in this case. So, we don't know who the arrest warrant is for, like the name on them, but we can all just assume it's Dejanay Jackson because she is the woman in the video beating the shit out of Shanquella, which was terrible. Oh, God, I just can't. Every time I think about it, our kids go on trips and they don't always know the people that they go with. Like, they know them less than they know the people Shanquella went with. It's unbelievable that this could happen. And you're like in your mid-20s. Why are you beating the shit out of people? We don't beat up people in our 20s. You do that in middle school, elementary school. Stop beating on people. You don't want to be with someone. You don't want to be around someone. Then don't be around them. Doesn't mean that you have to go hit on them. That was a huge villa. Go to a different room. And if you're my best friend and you video my death, I will come back and haunt you tenfold. Like, I will not just be a ghost. I'll be a fucking poltergeist. Just be sure of that. I just am so mad about this. So there's an arrest warrant. And the sad thing is, Mexico has an arrest warrant and the United States will not execute it.
Right. How does that make sense?
It makes no fucking sense, Nancy. None. None at all. So, if Mexico has a murderer, we expect them to just hand over their murderer, but we're not handing over someone that murdered someone in Mexico. Why? Because she's an American? And we don't want to put her in a Mexican prison? Well, she needs to be in a Mexican prison. Hell, they all maybe need some time in a Mexican prison. Like, Malik, you're videoing this. Aren't you an accessory? And there's one warrant and nobody's issuing it. And it's just a bunch of bullshit. I mean, I don't know, like, the lingo or anything legal-wise, but it's not okay. And it makes me mad. And I just feel terrible for Shanquella's family. Salamandra, Bernard, Quilla, all of them.
Well, they even went to the president with this. Remember? They even tried to get them to take action. They went to the Biden administration and nothing.
Well, even the Biden spokesperson just kind of, she's African American. It just kind of blew it off.
Yeah, that surprised me. I remember saying the family is doing everything. This isn't a family sitting here like, oh, okay. No, they're going after answers and they're going after people to help. They're just not getting it.
No, nobody's helping them.
No, that's so wrong.
And like, you had like big wigs giving them money and like, it's just like nothing.
Yeah, this is one of those cases that just makes you mad. Let's just say that.
Makes you real mad. But Nancy, you got a part of this story that I know this because I heard it too, but I want you to tell it.
What?
You can, law might not take care of you, but the streets will.
Oh, in the Greensboro.
Yeah.
So a couple of them got jumped outside of a Greensboro nightclub.
Got the shit beat out of them.
I'm just saying, sometimes people handle things.
And then one of them, I think it was Dejanay that got the shit beat out of her.
I thought it was, but I'm not 100% sure.
Man, and I don't agree with men beating on women, but, and I'm not sure that's how that went because that story was real kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But and afterwards they said the law might not take care of you, but the streets will.
But the streets will.
We don't need the streets to take care of people. We need to take care of the criminals. She committed a crime, allegedly, in Cabo. You need to send her to Mexico, America. Send her to Mexico because that's where the crime was committed. Even though that punishment might be more harsh than what it is here, well, then she shouldn't have committed a crime in Mexico. But yeah, if I committed a crime in China, I got to do the crime in China.
Mm-hmm. You're going back there.
And the one trial. North Korea where the kid took the flag. Remember that? It was terrible. Like, North Korea just pretty much brutally was terrible to this child. Like, he was an adult. But he had, taken but you can't do that in North Korea. And he did it, and he went to prison, and then North Korea gave him back to his family, but he died.
Yeah.
It's terrible. But the rules in other countries are different than they are here. And if you can't abide by those rules in those other countries, don't go there. Now, I'm not saying the whole North Korea, don't come at me because I agree with you that
Susan, we might have to go to witness protection.
That was just, it was unjust. It was terrible. It was awful. I have many mixed emotions and feelings about that. But if you go to another country, it's your responsibility to know the rules.
And this wasn't an accident. That's the whole problem. This was intentional.
This kid was being a kid.
Oh, the boy. Yeah.
But in Shanquella's case,
this wasn't an accident. It wasn't alcohol poisoning. It was intentional.
Why did you hate her so much?
And nobody got her help.
Yeah. What was your beef with her? And if she paid for the place, why the fuck were you even there? I'd have been like, no, I hate that bitch. I'm not going. If I don't like you, I'm not going on vacation with you.
Susan's as real as it gets, everybody. That's why I love her. And she's not kidding. She tells you how it is.
She's not going to
fake some friendship for a free trip. I mean, we don't know what happened, but doesn't... Yeah, no.
Gone on trips that haven't been the best trips with people that I genuinely care about, and I do, but I'm like, you know what? This trip thing with us don't work.
Mm-hmm.
But I still like you as a person. I might needed a minute after the trip, but, and you probably needed a minute for me as well. Whatever. But I just don't understand. I just don't understand how 20-year-olds are deciding they want to put their hands on each other. Just don't understand. Like, my 22-year-old daughter doesn't come home and say people beat her up. But, of course, she could beat them up, so, but because she's powerless, she's tough. Brittany don't come home and say they were fighting at the party. If you're fighting, it's like, you bitch.
But I'm saying this wasn't a two-way fight. It was when those girls are in the circle with it, something they were planning, where they're just jealous of her because she's beautiful, she's successful, she's, like you said, very chic, I don't know. Were they jealous of her?
She's so pretty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't know why.
And it said not only was she pretty on the outside, she was just pretty on the inside.
Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm.
And she was outgoing. Maybe they didn't like it that she was outgoing. Some outgoing people get hate because she was outgoing. Nancy, quit pointing at yourself. Nancy's pointing at herself because she thinks she's getting hate because she's so outgoing. Nancy just damn talk to everybody.
I am. My family has a bet every time we go somewhere, how long it's going to take me to talk to somebody I don't know and make a new friend. I hear them go, 3 minutes.
Matt said, Susan, you need to write a book on your Uber drive experiences. Because we also had, after I blew up my car 2 days later, we had to go to a wedding out of town. And we were Ubering back from the wedding, and I had way too much wine. And the Uber driver, her name was Ariel. So I was like, oh, Ariel. But it was spelled different. But I got out of the car and I said, Ariel, I hope when your boyfriend gets out of prison, everything works out great. I know it will. He's like, damn it, Susan, can you just sit in the Uber and not talk? I knew the girl whole life story.
That's another thing we should do. Random Uber
should
rides.
do it.
Just you and I, yeah.
We should do
Oh,
it. We could go to Charleston, Savannah. We'll just train.
Yeah.
You know what? That could be the podcast that explodes.
Gets us right there.
Yeah, right there.
Love it.
We could do it.
Side note.
Because, yeah.
Matt, we're brainstorming.
But my favorite Uber driver ever is Angel. And she taught me how to make a fried bologna sandwich. And she swore there wasn't a gun under the seat. But I swear to God, there probably was.
Thanks for joining us on Empty Nesters True Crime Podcast, where we've delved into chilling mysteries and dark secrets. With their nest now empty, Susan and Nancy will keep uncovering the truth and venturing into the unknown. Until next time, stay safe and step into the shadows with us again.